so let me ask you, because you've kind of seen our entire development, right?
Yeah.
I'll
talk about day one.
Yes. Like please share that. We came to you with specs that Brylan had created on his own, and then you really transformed our company. And so tell us about like what has that growth looked like for you on the outside?
Yeah, I think that for me it was a very beautiful transformation, and there's so much like emotional investment. It's like I would come onto these meetings and I would be like, we'd work in the team.
Can we talk about the meetings?
The meetings, oh my god, like I would literally be in those meetings like I'm having so much fun. I'm catching up and I'm like, we have deliverables to talk about. We have like a whole hour of stuff to review, but like just the catch up and the vibe was incredible. That's why I think like that made me even more excited to work on the project, because when you're around teams that have that type of connection, they have that type of energy, it rubs off on you, right? And it makes you want to come and give your best. And I think that for so many new founders nowadays, like a lot of people underestimate like the team as a variable. Like sometimes you think just because you have an insight or just because you have funding, then like everything is handled. But if you don't have the right people with the right mindset, the right values, the right culture, the right humility, the desire to grow, to improve, to challenge one another in an open environment, you're not going to get the best of the innovation and creative process, which I think is why, again, all of these corporations are realizing that is what diversity really means. It's not a skin color, but it's about creating an environment where everyone's perspective is valued, and that type of environment I think is infectious. So I loved our meetings so much, but just seeing the journey of the product and the brand is powerful, because I think I appreciate the product strategy that you guys brought to the table, because you had a clear vision of what you wanted this to be in terms of creating a metaverse, creating a platform that is scalable, that is engaging, that can bring people together. And so that challenged us as a design team to think about what are ways that we can manifest that. And I think, another key theme that you guys were talking about was just the concept of empathy, right? Like you don't know what you don't know, but as consumers, as creatives, we can really sit down and empathize with our audience and with the community that we're building for, and use that to inform what should this MVP or this initial launch look like. But yeah, like I think there's a couple things that like kind of came together for us. Like I think in designing like the logo and the identity, I really loved how we pushed on like the symbolism of 7th Ave, right? Like because I went to Howard and Howard was right on 7th Ave.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
okay.
Howard is Georgia Ave is actually
circle.
7th Ave as well. So that's the second name for where Howard is. And like when I lived in New York, it was the 7th Ave. In California, it was the 7th Ave.
Okay,
And so I like when you guys said that, like I was like, when I first saw the name, I was like, okay. From the cookout, I was like, the cookout I get, like, meeting place, it's cultural, like it's very literal as well, so it's a little bit easier to grasp. But 7th Ave, it feels luxurious, it feels like aspirational, but when you talk about 7th Ave as this universal meeting place that brings everyone together, I think that was something that was very compelling. And so when we were thinking about the design process, we're like, okay, how do we get at that luxurious feel, this aspirational feel? How do we make it aspirational but not out of reach, right? How do we like communicate the concept of community? So like everything from the typeface we were using to the decision to make the logo like one integrated unit. So it kind of creates that intrigue as well. Like I think all of those were things that were really beautiful for us. And so then from a product standpoint, like I just love like the different experiences we were able to create, right? Like I think just really understanding, okay, discovery is not where it needs to be. So how do we introduce like conversation categories and tags so that you can find things based off of the mood of the zone that you're in? Because we know that you're not just listening audio as like a one-size-fits-all thing. Sometimes it's passive, sometimes it's entertainment, sometimes it's informational. And so being able to create those different moments, I think was really exciting for us. And there are just tons of other stuff that was like, very compelling. So for me to see like where the app started, right, and what you guys were able to achieve with that, it just supercharged us to think, how can we make this even bigger? How do we make this really like the platform that everyone congregates around. Just like Instagram has become like a calling card, business profile type of thing. Like, you know, your Instagram is like your content card on your phone, right? But like, I can see now that new platforms and formats are emerging. We're talking short-term video, we're talking like real-time audio, and so it's really challenging these giants to rethink like the value of their product and what people want. And you know, I think that 7th Ave can fill that gap. 7th Ave can be the place that we all go to. I think that it's not just about the product and the design, but also the moment in time that we're in as a culture and as a people. So many Black millennials, so many Gen Zers are looking for something that they can call their own, right? And I feel like 7th Ave can be that place where it's like, not only is the product experience distinct and like engaging, but like the story behind it, the people behind it is something that, you know, it brings people together.
Yeah, and I want to dive deeper into like the brand design, because I think we talked a lot about functionality and intentionality there, but we did spend a lot of time just on like the colors, the aesthetic, the vibe, this experience that we're building. And really the reason why we did spend all that time is because we don't want to just be another generic company, right? Like we want to feel like family. Back to what Brad was saying, like we want to be a family member in everyone's pocket, right? You can come to us whenever you need it. So creating that sense of familiarity while also creating a sense of like, nah, we're Black and we're beautiful, we're luxurious, all of those things. It's dynamic, and I feel like you guys did such a good job at truly seeing the vision and helping us bring it to life. I know we were putting the logo up from Atlanta all this weekend, and it hits. And so I'm just appreciative of that.
Yeah.